Hello guys, this is Zen with Speak Easy G, and today we're going to be doing a tour of my ship. Now this ship that I have built here is, in my opinion, relatively seamless in transition. As anybody who has played around with the shipbuilding, you will probably know that if you just free build your ship, you will end up with a lot of maze-like structures. You'll have to go up and down ladders, and then just, it's not really good at all. And Andrasia is outside without a helmet. Okay, very good. But yeah, let's get to it. I want to show you guys the ship, and we'll get on it, and I'll explain to you afterwards exactly how I came about and being able to do what I did. So let's switch here into first person mode so it's a little bit easier to see. Okay, so to start off, what we have here is a hab spine. This is called a hab spine from Hope Tech. So you have to go to Hope Tech to get it. I believe it's in the Valos solar system. But what this does is it creates this hallway, and you can't put any doors here, here, or here, or here. So this forces the game to have a hallway, right? So you have a way of manipulating when you want to have a hallway, when you want to have a crossing, and when you want to separate certain habs. That way you're not creating ladders here. So, but yeah, let's go ahead inside, and the first thing that we see is an armory. Now this is a Demo's armory. Here we have two mannequins. You can put whatever armory that you would like there. We have some guns on here as well, and it extends to this part right here. So this is all the armory. You can put guns and even the ammo inside of them as well. Then if we make it to the left, we have another armory. This is I believe a Strahd and Eklund one. But the unique thing about this armory, it has less of these boxes, okay? But it has this little prison cell, which none of the other ones have. So this one's pretty unique. And then here, it's just a part of the armory as well. There's really nothing here, I'm not sure why. And then, of course, we gotta have some views because we are gonna be in space, so. That is this armory. So we have one armory, two armory, and let's go on to the third armory here. This one has all the displays, all of this. The only thing that would be lacking, which would be nice, is the mannequins, which would actually fit pretty well right here. But yeah, so this is another armory. We have three armories on the bottom floor. Now this ship is actually 4 floors, and I'll show that to you in just a second here as we approach the ladder. Now if we look up, this is the first floor. We have one right there, another one there, and all the way up there is our 4th floor. And believe it or not, this ladder that you're looking at is the only ladder in the entire ship. It's the only ladder. And I'll show that to you in just a second. But let's go ahead and continue with the tour of the ship. We're still on the first floor. We've already visited 3 habs. Let's go to the left because this is the front of the ship. The cockpit is up there. But let's go to the right, excuse me. We come onto a science lab here. You have the research lab, and you also have the pharmaceutical lab. Research lab here, paired up with the infirmary.
I don't know about you,
where you could also have a research lab and a pharmaceutical lab as well. Obligatory views and windows. If there's no windows above here, is because there's something above it. But you guys will see in just a second. So yeah, so we have these 2 here. This is, I guess, the science and health wing. Let's go on over to the left wing. The left wing, as some of you could guess, is a workshop. So you have your industrial workbench, your weapon workbench, and spacesuit workbench as well. Views for days. Yes, sir. And then here we have some up here view, but structural is there as well. Views, and here we have a computer core room. It has this storage crate, which I really didn't think that that would be in that, but it is, so it's really nice. Each of these storage crates actually carries up to 150 mass. So if you're getting a little heavy on any armor or weapons that you're saving, you could just throw them in there. But yeah, so more windows here. This is really more cosmetic. There's really nothing for it to do here, but it does look nice. Alright, so this is the left wing. Let's get on over back to the middle here. Remember, this is the spine. And we come back here to an all-in-one.
It's nice to see you.
Okay. This all-in-one, really nice lighting here. I believe it's a Straughton Eklund. And, you know, we try to get as many views as we can. I don't think that we can here. This is right below some other things. But yeah, so this right here is an all-in-one, 2x1 all-in-one.
It's a
So whenever
beautiful
you have
day
these
to be
3
alive.
sections only, you know it's a 2x1 because it's only one. So yeah, this is the whole first floor. We already have pretty much most of the necessary things that you would use just in the first floor, but there's more. So let's go down here, second floor. Now this is a companionway. Down here is also a companionway, all this that you see. And then this is also a companionway. And the one above it and the one above that is also a companionway. And I'll explain why that matters and why that's important a little later on. But more views here. As we come in here, this is a hidden captain's quarter. So not so much hidden, but it's the only thing here. So, you know, it's kind of like you come down here for captain's quarter and come and hang out. This is the second story. And there's more on this on the other side, but no ladders. Okay, so third story here. That is the front of the ship over there, and this goes to the back of the ship. Again, another companionway here. But let's go into it. This is actually a 3x2 mess hall by Straughton Eklund. So this mess hall is where they come and eat. Sometimes you'll see the crew sit down, play. I'm not sure if they play games, but I know 100% sure that they do eat. They'll have plates of food in them, and obviously it's not like Red Dead Redemption 2 where they're actually eating the things, but you know, they have a play and they're pretending to eat. But yeah, they have a little lunch in here. I've never seen them sit here. I know they sit here for sure. This guy is almost always in this room. I don't understand if he's just, you know, decided to be the chef of the ship. But yeah, so this room is really nice. It has multiple rooms, corners. We have a kitchen here that you can actually use to cook food if you need anything. Galley, floating light, because of course Bethesda. Windows, refrigerators, storage room, windows, another room. So it feels really roomy in here. It doesn't seem like you're on a ship, but you know that you're on the ship, right? So again, this is the middle, the front, and going towards the front there, and this connects to a living quarters. So if we look here, living quarters, the window, of course, so we can know we're in space. So when we're out there, we can see nice views. And then just continues on here. It's pretty lackluster, actually. It's just a bunch of tables, you know, and a TV. That's pretty much it, you know, with a bed. You would think they would put more in here, more variances, and it doesn't really change with the other ones as much either. I think there's a pool table in one of the other ones, but yeah. So this whole back area is kind of for the crew. And let's head towards the front of the ship. So remember, we're in just only in the third story. I'm sorry. So we're just now heading to the third story, and we're not done yet. Again, these are the hab spines from Hope Tech. You can only get them there. But this right here is an all-in-one, 2x1 all-in-one. Oh Lord, Vasco. This is something that he's always in the way. Vasco, they allow him to be a crew on your ship, but he's always embedded or in the way. So this is going to be fun to get around. But anyways, so this is a 2x1 area here. and this is where we came from. So we can go to the left here, and we have a Teo Industries battle stations. I believe this is what, yeah, or control stations, one of the two. But this one's really nice because it has the table in the middle, you know, the computers all around, and it just kind of looks like what it's supposed to be. It looks like a command center where, you know, you come and do some planning or whatever the case may be. So yeah, so this is this. If we go down to the right wing, we come to computer core as well. This is another computer core. I like this one in particular because it has, you know, this window division, makes it look bigger than it really is. Couple rooms here. Really can't do anything in here. You could sit down and rest or pass some time here, but that's pretty much it. I haven't really seen any of the crews come in here often, so, but, you know, it's still part of the ship. This is where we came from. This is the computer core. If we could throw it to the left, more room here. This is another computer core that we have here with some views, and I believe some views here as well. Yes. Oh, that's another storage. Yep. So I'm not sure if they all have them, if all the computer cores have them, but the ones that I put, yes, they do. Let's get back into the middle. So Vasco being there is gonna be a problem. So I'm gonna go reload the ship, and hopefully he will be gone. Alrighty, so now I've gotten Vasco out of the way. I don't know where he is, but doesn't matter. He's not here. As we were talking, this is the middle of the ship. We had just explored this, and we're going into here. This is another all-in-one that I placed here with some views, and that way the crew can hang out. So we have more room, another restroom here that they can come to. There's nothing else here. So half spines connect to the dock. Now this dock is by far, I think, the most useful and the most unique one. It is the only dock that actually has seamless stairways like this, with 2 levels that you can actually connect rooms with or halves to. There are other docks that are similar in size, but they don't have 2 stairways like this, but you would think that they would have more variances like this, or more unique entrances, maybe an entrance here or an entrance there, and then nothing in the middle, maybe some tables. But no, that's not how we roll. But anyways, yes, so this dock right here, you can only get this at the Nova Galactic, and this is unique, and you can only get it there. So if you're planning on making this, you're gonna have to, you know, head on over there, put a temporary dock, and then switch it out for this. But yeah, so here you connect down to the 2nd level, and we go in here, and there is a brig. So if anybody has gotten the Star Eagle, I'm not gonna say what it is, or I mean, you can guess what it is, but you will find that this is a similar place, if not exactly the same. So yeah, it's a brig for you to put prisoners in, even though you really can't take anybody prisoners, unlike some other games like Red Dead Redemption, but hey, who's judging? But anyways, yeah, so this is a brig. It does not connect here or here or here. I've tried to make it connect on the other side, but it would not. So even though we're on the 2nd level, we're just on the other side of the 2nd level. So let's head back over there. As you have been able to see so far, there are absolutely no ladders, except for the ones that I've shown. So let's get back, and we'll go into the 4th and last floor. Here.
Something you need?
Oh, Sarah, what are you doing? Anyways, so here we are to companionway. These companionways really allow for this ladder, and it's one of the key things. And we'll talk about that more. But anyways, we have the docker here. It's one of those dockers that you put on top of an existing hab, not the habs with the docker already. But I have another captain's quarters here, and I think that this is actually the most unique captain's quarter. This is personal area, a realistic size bed. Most of the other beds actually just cut off right here. It looks like it's for a toddler or a kid, even though you can sleep on them, but this is actually the one that looks the most realistic. views, of course. And then on the other side, we have a private armory for the captain's quarters with views, of course. Now, we have some weapons on there in case of an emergency. But yeah, so that's most of the ship. And again, this is the only set of ladders in the entire ship. So let's get out of here and go into Shipbuilder so we can really see how this all came together. What you guys are seeing right now for this ship, I have reached the module limit. I haven't really played around with mods too much except for DLSS.
Please disregard.
So I have pretty much reached module limit. And then so if I were to take off other modules to add more things, which I think I could, the ship will start to look really clunky, so I didn't want to do that. But let's go ahead and look at it here and I'll show you guys how it is made. Okay, so now that we are here into the Shipbuilder, let's go ahead and hit X for upgrade, and I'm going to show you here exactly how it looks. It looks a little weird. But really this is the only way that I can make it look as seamless and as nice as it is. So basically we're able to kind of hide things in the middle, as you'll be able to see. The engines are back here. These are all the modules with the windows of the portholes. And then yeah, it looks a little clunky. So because I've reached the hab limit, so if you see here, if I try to add, this action would exceed the module limit, excuse me. So I'll delete modules before adding more. So what it means, I have to delete more of these like braking engines or the cowlings in order to cover this up, but then all the other areas would look, you know, empty. So yeah, I'm assuming maybe there's a mod out there that I could use to go ahead and get rid of that. But right now, basically, I wanted to go over how the ship is made. So as I mentioned to you, there are 4 levels. Okay, so let's start tearing this baby apart. Move these here. Move this here. Okay, move this one over here. Okay. And then so what you'll start to notice is that once we get rid of these structural components, we start to see the habs pop up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the structural components. That way you can just see hab modules. Take this one out here, put the engine back here, put that together. Okay. So 4 levels, as I mentioned to you, all these 4 levels were connected in the middle here. So these are, I'm just using Hope Tech. You can really use any of the manufacturers. I just use Hope Tech because I think this one in particular looks a little bit cleaner than the other ones. And then you have the Docker on the top added as an add-on. But yeah, so that's where I looked up. You can see the ladders, and it takes you up across all 4 of the floors. That out. Let's take this wing out. Sure, you can go over there. And here we go. So I thought about doing this before starting the video, but I wanted you guys to see exactly how it looks being taken apart too, because that's part of the building process. And of course, I would encourage anybody who's looking to build a ship or build anything relatively similar to just spend time going into the builder, because it's just, there's a lot of possibilities. You may end up wanting to do other things, and there's a lot that goes into shipbuilding. And it took me hours. I mean, I have over 115 hours in this game, and I would say about 10 of those hours are just on shipbuilding. This isn't my first ship either. But yeah, just shipbuilding itself is very time consuming. But it is fun. It is fun, definitely, building your own ship. But yeah, so I think this is, we're getting close here to the level. Yeah. Let me take out this. Big old engines. Getting the engine ratio is pretty challenging as well, because the mobility becomes an issue, and you can't have too many engines, because then it just tells you, it gives you the error of having too many engines for the power that you're using. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so we have the dock. Excuse me, the bridge. So as you can see, whenever you see these two things, that's how you know you can connect a doorway there. Okay, and then here just means you can put structural things, or fuel tanks and things of that nature. But so that is the bridge itself, Nova Galactic, as you can see there. I have this tail engineering. This one doesn't really matter as much, but I believe it's much nicer when you have a door instead of a ladder. The ladder just seems so rustic. I don't know. I don't like the feel of putting a ladder, you know, on a ship that's supposed to be 300 years into the future. So yeah, forgive me for that, but no. So I put Teo Astroneering Technologies here. This is the landing bay shipbed 200. So we put that there. Okay. Now, hab spines. As I was mentioning to you, these hab spines are really, really important. They create a space where there cannot be any doors or ladders except for this, right? So as you can see, this hab spine goes into here, but it doesn't cross over into this module, and it doesn't cross over into this module. The only time that you can go into those modules is from this armory module. That's the doorway right there, right? So that's how we create a space. If I was to put this over here, it would all, you know, it would choose, the game itself would choose where the doors are. But if I do it like this, it only leaves the game with two options, here or here, and that's the only options. So that is pretty much the trick with this, is to create spaces where you're forcing the game to take another route to give you access. The game wants to give you access one way or another, so that's why when you put a lot of modules in, you resort with a lot of ladders, because the game says, well, if you take this ladder, you go up and then you can get to the cockpit, or you can get to the landing bay. But yeah, so again, we have the companionway. Companionways are in the middle right here. So we see 4 levels, 4 companionways. 1 companionway, 2 companionways, 3 companionways, 4 companionway. This right here, Hope Take cross brace, similar to those spines, but they're cross braces. Again, you can only get these unique structural items at the Hope Tech location. So yeah, so we have 4 levels. Okay, we have 4 of these levels. So the bottom level, we have all those, and they all connect. Well, these modules right here and then right here connect to the middle one. All right. So the only way to get into any of these modules on the bottom floor is through either the landing bay, which are coming from the outside, or the companionway from the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Okay. Now, if we look at here, we have a 2x1 and then a 2x1 right on top. Some of these modules, some of these habs will not create ladders if they're on top of each other. Some of them don't. For example, these 2 do not. My suspicion is that it's because these companionways are here, and I think that that's pretty much what it is. As you can see, there was only 1 set of ladders. So these companionways are really important because I think that the game prioritizes them as a traversal through the ship, and so it won't always make ladders. In this case, it doesn't. Another thing that I've noticed is for these 2x2s and 3x2s, if you put something under them, no ladders will create as well. So that's good. Now, let's go to the hab spines, because I really want to get into the hab spines here. Let me just remove these so it's easier to see. So these hab spines, let me put this back here so we have a reference. There we go. You have a hab spine here, and I have a hab spine here. Okay. The reason why is because when we put these modules on top of this 2x2 or on top of what's below it, which is let me see, yeah, the hab spines here, sometimes it can create a ladder, but if you have a hab spine, which we do here, it creates a buffer so it doesn't connect with any other module. It eliminates the chance of having any other ladders. So we are deliberately creating a spot where there's only hab spines below a module. So we have hab spine there and then another hab spine there. So that's the hallways that you guys would see. And it's right below this all-in-one berth. And then there's another hab spine there. So we create that buffer, that way it doesn't connect to this 2x2, even though sometimes it wouldn't, but a 2x1 maybe, if you want to put it here, it could connect. So the way we try to get around that is by putting these hab spines, which connect to the bridge here. And then we take it all the way down to the companionway, again connecting to the companionway, and then you can put anything back here. As I said, because you have these companionways so close, I believe that this is the reason why you don't see any ladders created between any of these habs that I have connected. And there's only one set of ladders that it's on the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st floor down there. And then so we have the 4th floor of this, and right under this, of course, we also have hab spine. And right here it connects, the captain's quarters connects with this all-in-one berth, but you also have to look inside the habs, because sometimes inside the habs there are certain things that the game will not get rid of in a hab, and if it can't get rid of it, then it's not going to create a ladder there, or it's not going to create a way for something to be removed. So basically, you know, when you're playing around with it, with the halves, of course, you have to kind of be conscious, or kind of go back inside the ship and say, okay, what was removed, what wasn't. If I put something here, is that wall going to be removed completely, or is this something that, nope, you have to go around? So that's something to consider as well. So yeah, and then basically you can make this ship this way. The modules themselves, the habs themselves, don't really matter. They don't really matter much, and you have a lot of room in the under. So right here you can put these landers, and in between, because you're creating these buffers of spines and you're not crossing anything over, so you can put, as you guys have seen, storage, cargo holds. You can put structurals, you know, your drives, your tanks, engines, everything, and it looks fine. This one itself, the cargo is right now it's 5,840, but basically with perks and the crew that I have, it actually goes up a lot. So let me cancel it here, and we can see that, oops, the cargo hold is actually 7,591. So we're not going to be really skimping out on cargo. You'll still be able to have a lot of cargo. I can put 9 crew on here, and the reason why I can do that is because of a perk. And let me show you what that perk is right now. You have to max it out. It's under the social, and it's called ship command. So first rank, you can have up to 4, so it doesn't matter how large your ship is, as long as you have your starter perk, you can have up to 4. So you'll only be able to get 3, and then once you have this is 4, then 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Then 6, then 8. It skips, I guess. A quick note on that: if you assign Sarah Morgan to your ship, I think last, or if she's within your ship, for some reason she doesn't count. So I think you're able to um, add more crew. But yeah, so I don't know if that'll be patched out later on or however that goes. But yeah, so this is basically the ship. You guys feel free to go back and kind of slow it down, go and look through it, and make your own variant of it. It feels so much nicer to be able to go through HABs without having to go through so many ladders or just one set of ladders. And it makes it more believable that this is a futuristic ship. So I'm glad I could show you guys this. It took hours and some inspiration from and people that were talking about their building experience, and then so that's how we were able to get to this. But I'm gonna sign out now. I do appreciate you guys having a look at the video, and you have a great one. Bye bye now.